everyone, welcome to Pawpaw's Workshop. Today I'm celebrating that we have reached 300 subscribers, and in honor of that I'm doing this little sign to be able to celebrate. And along the way I'm showing you how to use the work pieces in the Easel software. And I want to thank everybody for being able to subscribe, and I hope you're learning something along the way. Let's get started. Today we've reached another milestone, and what I want to do is show you how to be able to use the work pieces down below. This has been a very nice addition to the Inventables Easel software, and I know there's been some confusion about it. So today I want to be able to show some examples on what you can do with these work pieces. In the video from last month, doing the two-stage carving, the bits that we use with the 1/8 inch bit as the clearing bit, and then for the detail bit I use a 60-degree bit. To be able to do that, that was the results, and as far as the time, it did not take long to cut this at all. You can see the clearing bit took about 7 minutes, and then the detail bit took about 17 minutes. Not bad. So to begin today, what I'm going to do is copy this whole file, and I'm going to hit Control C, and then I'm going to open up a new window or a new workpiece, and I'm going to copy that into the new workpiece by hitting Control V. So there it is. First thing I'm going to do is select the 200 subscribers, and I'm going to go ahead and change that to 300 subscribers. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Instead of being May, we're going to change that to today, June 24th. So that's everything that I want to be able to say. Now then, we're not going to be doing the two-stage carving today. We're just going to be doing the one carve. So up here, what I need to be able to do is change this. I'm going to delete this, the detail pass, and now I just have the one bit showing. I don't want to carve this with the 1/8 inch. I do want to use this 60-degree bit. First thing, I want to change this outline. We're going to change that to where it will not be a pocket where it carves deep into it. We're going to change it to where we're going to create an outline. And we'll cut it on the outside, such as that. Now that is done. Now you can see where my letters are all white and the surface is all white. You can't see it anymore. The reason being, on our two-stage carving, we didn't cut the actual letters. So here, now just by highlighting it, you can see the letters start to appear. So now, what do I want to do? I want to cut all of this at 0.1 of an inch. So I can just select the depth, put in 0.1, and that will complete that portion. That's what the sign will look like. So over here, we'll generate a detailed path. There's our sign. How long is it going to take to cut this with a 60-degree bit? We'll click on the simulate, and you can see it takes about 10 minutes. Not bad at all. So now, down here at my work pieces, this is my new work piece that's going to carve. The original one is over here that we copied from. Now then, people have asked about notes. You can click this little drop-down window right there, and you can click on notes, and then you can type anything that you want. I'm just going to type in, this is a test note, and then you can hit the save note, and now it's saved in there. So anytime, and you see this little small icon pop up stating or showing that there is a note attached to this. A lot of people have asked, can you rearrange these different work pieces? Well, at this point, no, you can't. The next question is, how do you delete the work piece? Well, I've got an extra work piece here that I really don't need any longer. So all I need to do is just highlight that little button, and then I can delete it. And it comes up here and says delete workpiece. This will permanently delete the workpiece. So I can click OK, and that workpiece is now gone. Another thing that you can do too, if I have this, you see the duplicate. So now I have the exact same workpiece duplicated with the same note. So this is my new one. I click on this, I go down to notes, and look, our test note is still there. So it entirely duplicates the entire workpiece. So this is a very, very handy feature. The other thing that people have said, and I have not experienced this, if you get too many work pieces, it will either slow down the operation or make it where it will not carve. Guys, I have not experienced that, and I have had numerous work pieces where I will do multiple projects that are actually similar. So to give you an idea, I'm going to open up a couple of them just to show you. Here's an example that I've used in some of the other videos. Here I've got 6 different work pieces, and so far there has been no complication with doing the carving at all. Another question that has come up is, how do you delete these projects? Well, one of the things that you can do, you have the little trash can right here that you can delete the project. But what happens if you want to save the content? Well, what I can do is actually open that project. I can make a copy of it. I only have the one workpiece down here. So what I'm going to do is save and copy this entire workpiece. So I'll hit my Control C, and then I'm going to go over here to this one, which is the similar, where I've been keeping all of these together, and I'm going to open up a new workpiece, and in this workpiece I'll hit Control V, and now I have the workpiece there, and that way it will be saved. Obviously this is a different size, so all I need to be able to do is be able to reduce it back down so you can see it. Now then, if I go back to the original one, I can simply delete that. When I run the cursor over the project, a little trash can comes up. I can click on the trash can, and it says, do you want to delete? And I can click yes or OK, and that will delete the project out of my collection. In preparing to carve this, one of the things that I like to do, especially on a small project, is move the XY home position to the center of the project rather than being down at this lower left-hand point. So to be able to do that, I'm going to highlight the whole entire project. I'm going to come up to the top. We're going to select shape. I have the center highlighted here, and I'm going to change that to 0, and then the y-axis also to 0, and that positions the project over to the center. So now then, we're going to go over to the machine itself, and I'm going to set up the machine, and I actually will set the XY axis to begin with before I even begin the checklist. What I've done is mounted my workpiece into position. I'm using a bump stop on the one side. and I'm using 2 clamps to be able to hold it in place to secure the workpiece. My XY axis is going to be right here in the center, and I'm going to take and jog the machine over to this point now. Okay, and what I've done is I've actually jogged the machine using the computer over to this XY axis point right here. And one of the things that I can do is actually lower this bit right down to that point, so I know exactly where it is without having to do any more calibrating. I can actually visually see it. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through the rest of the checklist to be able to carve this. I've selected carve, and the first thing it does is confirm the thickness of the material. And yes, I'm not worried about the thickness of the material because I'm not cutting all the way through it. So I'm going to confirm that. Material is secure. You saw that just a moment ago. The bit is a 60-degree bit, so I can confirm that. And now we are going to use the probe. Now, because the bit is so low, one of the things that I'm going to need to do is raise this up to begin with. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and attach the probe. Okay, with the probe attached, we'll go through the steps. And now I'll raise this up and touch, and I confirm that. So we put that down. And now the probe is complete, and we will disconnect everything. The next thing that it asks is to set the XY 0. Well, we've already done that, so all I need to do is click OK. The next thing, we will turn on the spindle. Spindle is on, and we'll begin to carve. While this is carving, I just want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to my channel. It has been a very much of a pleasure to be able to do these videos, and I'm hoping that you're able to learn something from them. The wood that I'm using today is a very soft cedar wood, and I did notice as it's going through one little tear out, but that will happen with this light, very soft cedar.